Okay. Good morning. Let's see how this goes. Sorry that it took so long. It's the first time that I do this, as you can tell. So I'm just gonna check on the different streams. Okay. Yeah, appears to work. Morning. Hey. Yeah, appears to work. Morning. Yeah. So how are you guys doing so far this morning? Happy Friday. I don't know where you guys are watching from, but at least here in Canada, it's almost 11. This was scheduled to start at 10:30, but hey, it's Friday, right? It's the first time we're doing this. So we're gonna learn together also to stream, also to model, to make all the Unreal Engine shit. So yeah. Let me just take a mate. For you guys, if you didn't know, the mate is a classical Argentinian drink. It's a little bit dirty, but it makes the job. It's nothing too crazy, just tea leaves grinded and hot water. So it's a classic thing that we drink from my country. It kind of like coffee. Nowadays you have these fancy drinks, mate drinks that you see trying to take over the market to battle against, Red Bull and all those companies. But yeah, I don't know if any of you drinks it or have tried it. It's super bitter though. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't like strong stuff, like bitter, really bitter stuff. So yeah, it's just stuck into myself, but it's good. It's good to have the practice. It's good to try. It's good to learn new things. After all, we are artists. This is our work, so we're used to be on uncomfortable spots. It's the only way to improve. And this is why I thought about starting these episodes or live streams event actually, because for those who didn't know me, my name is Ramon, but most people here call me Raymond because Ramon is very Latino Americanistic name. It's hard to pronounce the R because it's actually Ramon. So yeah, there you go. Try to do it yourselves. So yeah, I come from a small country, a very south country. It's Argentina. The edge of the map, Messi, Maradona, all the good football players, all the good things. And yeah, I've been working in the industry, actually in the 3D animation industry for the past 4.5, 5 years now. I studied in Argentina. I come from a very non-animation or CG background. I didn't do design or anything like that. I studied cinema. Then I moved to, I did that for 5 years. I also got a teaching degree in arts. So let's see if that pays out a little bit here. So yeah, I studied for 5 years, then went to Spain, did a master's there. It was fun. Did a master's in 3D animation, and then yeah, I got my first job in the industry as a generalist, and yeah, kept grinding from there all the way up to here, to Canada. Right now I'm living in Montreal for the past 2 years. Yeah, almost 2 years. Came here to work on a Netflix project and stayed. And yeah, actually, I always wanted to do, a switch in between, from the CG, VFX, animation industry into video games. I never had the correct first motivation, second guidance, and third time to do it. So yeah, now it's the perfect, I think, opportunity to do it, because if you guys haven't been living under a rock, the industry is not on his best moment right now, so there's not much work to do. So yeah, I always thought and saw the video games industry to be more stable than VFX animation one, even though I know there's been massive layoff recently. But if you think about it, like the life of animation project, a movie, a series, or I don't know, also VFX movies, are not more than like for a base artist, junior, mid, sometimes senior as well. Either maybe if you're a lead, you can enter and stay a little bit longer. But from my experience, that is on the lighting department and compositing. Usually we don't stay, or the projects are no longer than, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year. It really depends. When my way of seeing, or what I've heard about the video games industry, is that it usually takes a couple of years to stay or to finish, at least. So yeah, the continuity between projects and the team, the sizes and everything, if you enter in the AAA industry, right, that it's at least my objective right now would be to make the pivot into one of those categories. So one of those categories, I mean, like somehow big AAA, AA games industry. So yeah, I lost my train of thought, but that's basically it. Having more consistency. I consider myself a gamer by heart since I was little. Actually, I went into cinema, as crazy as it sounds, due to video games, because when I was, 16, 15, and you have to start thinking about what you want to do in the future, if you want to study or whatnot, I saw, where I was from, we didn't have any type of connections with the game industry. Even now in Argentina, South America, the games industry, I mean, of course, we have the indie devs and a lot of things can happen now due to the accessibility and all the tools that are freely or super modic priced available to people. But back then, 2000, I'm talking about 2012 to 2010, yeah, it was tricky. So I started doing modding for a couple of games, Call of Duty games, and started recording those stuff and showing it to my friends. And that's when I grabbed also the taste of making, animated or film things. And I was like, okay, I like this. I like video games. I like telling stories. The closest thing would be to do cinema. So yeah, I went that way, and then I fell in love with the cinema industry and the filmmaking process in general. So yeah, now I'm coming back to that old love of making real time things. So to finish off a little bit and to start doing some things, my idea with this series is to actually make the switch. I've been investigating and doing some small things here and there for the past couple of months. but now I really want to tackle a complete environment on a production scale. So that would mean making all the frame sheets, making modeling, sculpting, baking, shading, using different softwares, optimizing, doing speed tree, doing foliage, doing some dynamics, to finish a little test scene. So yeah, this I think this is the best way for me to self-oblige, stick to have some kind of routine now, to sit down every day, connect, and not messing around, or just putting the time and effort of doing it. And what better way of doing that than to film it, to stream it. And if someone can tag along and would like to continue my process, or maybe could get one thing good or two, a tip, a trick, if something for one person at least comes out after this as a learning experience, I would be super happy about it, and I would consider myself fulfilled with the task. So in the meantime, we're just gonna be stinking around here. My idea is to do it a couple of times a week in the mornings. This is my best schedule now. That could change later. If you guys now on the live chat, or afterwards you like the idea and you like to change the schedule, just for the sake of convenience, let me know. We can arrange it. I'm kind of flexible right now, so it would be fun. And yeah, and afterwards I will be taking notes. We will be iterating, and my idea is to make the full process on stream, to apply my knowledge and to see if my knowledge in VFX and animation translates into video games. I know we're gonna have a lot of bottlenecks. I know we'll run our heads into some problems, but hey, that's the idea of it. And I don't know, I found myself that this is the only logic path to make things now. So yeah, as you can see here in the image, we have a lovely AI generated image. So for this project, the actual idea of this comes from a trip that I had a couple of months ago. This summer I went to Greece for the first time with my parents. My parents are such a big nerds about history, and well, my mom actually, she teaches history in school, so she's a history teacher. So yeah, you can imagine that since I was a kid, I was super into all the ancient civilizations, you know, the Nordics, the Greeks, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Egyptians, and yeah, all the big civilizations. And the Greek actually was one of the, or at least one of my favorite things as a child, the myths, the legends, and everything. So I thought after my trip and the things that I learned along the way, I was like, okay, maybe it's a good idea for a first project. So there's a thing in all these courtyards that you see very often in ancient Greece in the classical period, and then the Romans got it and modified it a little bit. So these interior places are called, well, it's a courtyard, but it has a word in Greek that I forgot. I think it's called peristyle. I don't know how to pronounce it. You guys can correct me in the chat if you know it. So the thing with this place is that why I think this could be a good idea for an environment is that first it's a mixture between open and like interior exterior, because we can light it for sure. We can light it as an exterior environment, but as well, if we make it at night, we can play around a lot with the lighting, with the flames and natural lighting sources like fire and reflections, and we have puddles of water that we can maybe add, so that could turn out to be super interesting. And as well, I'm saying a little bit interior because we have these hallways here that we can really play around with the tiling. We can play around with the walls. We can play around with the motifs, the frescoes. Here we have some Christianity things that wouldn't suit the Greeks for sure, but it's fun how the AI interprets the prompts. Actually, this comes from the Middle Ages. These rings were the ones that the church or the Christianity church Christian church, put behind the saint's head in gold, actually, to remark that they were saints. So, fun fact, also with the statues. So that's the first point, the first 2 points. So we can play around with the same environment with different lighting conditions. The second point would be we have a lot of good and different kind of geometries that we can make with different workflows. That means a good balance between baked or high to low poly meshes or assets, trim sheet assets, stylable textures. So, for example, here we can play with the different tilables in the walls, maybe trim sheets for the painting on the walls. Also, maybe we can make some materials in Substance Designer for the floor, and maybe some pebbles, some marble for the walls and whatnot. Here, like on the capitals of these columns, we can play around also with some trim sheets, colors. So it's very rich. We have also some statues that we can make. I had an idea of exploring how to kind of standardize this and turn any model into a statue. For example, we can make a Houdini script or template that could actually, for example, grab any model and convert it into a stone, fraction it, and divide it into pieces for us to being able to scatter it around the scene and to have some variance around it. So that's why I think this could be good. And also, of course, the foliage. We have some small trees, some shrubs, grass, so we can play a little bit around that. I know a lot of these things we can do it in grabbing already made materials, right? Like already made meshes from Megasans and whatnot. But I don't know if you guys heard, but lately there's been this rumor that Megascans is gonna stop working for sure it's gonna stop working as it was intended for now, because they I think Unreal or Quixel is gonna launch a new platform. We can look into it after if you want. But that, I saw on internet some rumors that might lead to the elimination of all, at least free assets. There's more than, I think, 8,000 or 10,000 assets from Megasans. So I think that having the ability to make these assets ourselves could be very beneficial in the future. Also because I like to think about the snowball effect about doing this stuff, right? So we can make the shrubs for this project, and then we can have it for our next project. So we don't have to start from the get-go. Same from the materials like marble, sandstone, limestone, plaster, these type of materials that I know we can get online, but the fact that we can do it kind of like kills two birds with one stone, because the first one is we learn how to freaking do it, because production sometimes you won't have access to free or massively available resources, because due to copyright and stuff like that, and some in-house rules of the companies. I'm guessing that is the same that we have in VFX and animation industry. And the second one is to make our own asset gallery, our own materials, our own things. Because for me, in order for me to do something, I need to understand how it works. I cannot just be happy with grab this texture online that you found and put it and slap it on top of it and call it done, because that made, at least in my opinion, somehow of a standardization or a repetitiveness of how you see environments right now in, for example, ArtStation. Like you get on LinkedIn, I've seen these artists that they craft these environments, but for me it's like the same environment over and over and over again, because that's the downside of having such a widely spread out and massively available library. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. I mean, I've used it a lot. I think we have to have it. I think we need to have as artists, I believe in the freedom of having a lot of resources to play around and to tell stories, because at the end of the day, that's what we are trying to do, right? Like if you're building this without having a story, we're gonna work on that, and you're gonna see how I try to start from an idea and having a clear conflict, a clear storytelling before moving on. I think that's the core of the thing. If we don't have a story, if we don't have a good idea, then our work is going to be lost in between thousands and thousands of iterations of also good works. But with the same assets, no ideas, and just because it looks pretty. So I don't know. At least that's my strategy for now. Hey Daniel, that's great, but where's the image? We are gonna make it together, man. That's the idea of this. This is the first chapter. We're talking a little bit about, and thanks for joining in. Actually, we're talking about a little bit about how are we going to tackle this and how we're going to turn this type of concepts. This is just the base to illustrate a little bit my initial thought before doing this, how we're going to turn this into a finished environment. So if you want to learn, if you're already making something and you want to share it and you want to take it from there, yeah, welcome, man. Glad that you can join. But yeah, as I was saying, this first stream, it's just like, for me actually, is just for grabbing the things, the wheel, the steering wheel, try to see how I feel also about streaming, and to talk with you guys, actually, the ones that are going to follow me along, what you think about my idea. Like, the thing is good, you think it's bad, you think I should change something. You guys can tell me. I will be more than welcome to iterate over the process. So yeah, how it got to this. So I was saying that I went to a trip to Greece this last summer, and I really wrapped my head around making an ancient Greek environment. I think it's a good mixture of different elements. So we have the interior, somehow interior exterior thing. We can have statues, we can have vegetation and everything. So my idea now is actually I have PureRef. I don't know if you guys know it. PureRef is a free software that has a lot of functionalities, but at least for me, the good thing is it always stays on top. So you can actually move it around with right click and put it wherever you like. I'm gonna have it here now, and we're gonna use this kind of as a base to drop down all of our images, all of our concepts and references. We're gonna start maybe from an idea and then move forward into more complex stuff. So yeah, this would be the environment. So if we create a node here, we can type for the base, this is gonna be in location, it's going to be ancient Greece, but it's present time. So we're talking about, I don't know. So present time, ancient Greece. So everything looks good. We're not going to make like a destroyed temple or a ruined temple. So our idea is to convey the story that we are currently in that time period, like playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know if you guys played it, but that's also one of my inspirations for this. So yeah, that's the first one. So we need a location. We need a conflict. So the thing with conflict is really interesting is that a conflict, it's the only thing that actually drives story forward. So either you're, I don't know, telling a story to your friends, you're recalling something that you did in the morning, watching a movie, watching a show, or a play, a theatrical play, playing a game. Conflict is what's going to move your story forward. So it's how we as humans can make stories. Without conflict, you don't have a story. So, I mean, there are some bizarre examples of, for example, movies that they don't have a clear conflict, but even so, normally it's the way, the classical way of narrating or storytelling in nowadays. So I always like to think about conflict as a good starting point. So the premise with conflict is we need two forces, right? The first force would be our character, our people. We need someone to do something. In a game, it's the player. In a story, it's the main character or main characters or whatnot. But we need people or action. We need action. So when we think about conflict, I'm gonna open Photoshop for this to write a little bit. See, this stays on top. So just gonna move it here for now. We can actually grab this, put it here. So to talk about a little bit, actually, you know what? Let's just put it like this. To talk about a little bit about conflict. Okay. So when we talk about conflict, we talk about forces, right? So this is classic cinema or storytelling 101. So let's imagine a character pushes this way. So this is the timeline of our story, or the progression of the narrative. So someone, a character, has a want, a need. So it needs something. This case could be it needs to go from place A to point A to point B. It wants the love of that girl, that boy. So we're talking about the lack of something that pushes the character forward. Because if not, if the character doesn't want anything, if the character has everything, if he has a happy life, why we have story? I mean, it could have that and then lose it. That's why the story starts. But if the character is in peace, that is not in search of anything, we wouldn't have a story. So first, we need that need, that want. So we can talk about the need. And here comes the fun part. So the character wants something. So the want. He wants something into that direction. And the magic word is but. So the character wants something, but something else. Something happens. That could be, I don't know, something personal, internal. So the character wants something, but he can't because he's afraid. The character wants to be a famous singer, but he's afraid of singing in front of people. That's a conflict. The character wants to be with a girl, but the girl doesn't want to be with him. That's another conflict. Boy, we also say in storytelling, boy wants girl, girl doesn't want boy. So that's a conflict. Or boy loses bike, boy wants bike back. So boy wants bike back. So we have the need, we have the want. But bike was stolen or can't find bike. So the but, it's another strength that pushes exactly on the opposite side. So in this middle point in here is where they have the conflict. Is where the conflict starts. Is what troubles the character. Is what makes him want to go further to solve this. Because if this isn't solved, then the character cannot leave. The character cannot leave without this being solved. So in a video game, we also have that. In a video game, we also have the progression, but we're talking about the character, not us as players. Talking about the character. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or in any Assassin's Creed, the character wants, because he wants to feel better, he wants to avenge his son's death in Origins. He wants to find out who the other person is, the brother or sister, and kill the Templars. So it wants something, but it can't. And that lack of objective, of goal that we have here, it what makes it move further. So with that in mind, the only thing that I want you guys to think alongside with me, I know it's a little bit technical for a Friday at 11 in the morning, and we are supposed to talk about freaking video games in Unreal Engine, and we're talking about conflict. But yeah, this is how it's going to be, at least for now. But bear with me. I promise it has a good outcome. So the only thing that I want you guys to think about when we plan an environment, for example, is why are we there? Like we have the idea, we have everything, but what I think separates a good environment for a truly amazing one is the storytelling, right? It's why we have to move there, why the character has to go through there, why the character has to play, or ourselves, while we have to play that level. What do we want to achieve after that? How do we want to feel while we do that? So all those questions are really important to have, are really important to write them down in order for us to answer them along the way. And if we ever feel lost, we can actually go back and always check on those questions and those answers, so we can stay focused and maintain the end goal of our environment. That is the cornerstone that is going to tight everything and make everything make sense for us. Okay, so important thing about conflict is basically two forces of equal strength. I think I misspelled it, but it doesn't matter. Bear with me. English is not my first language. That has the equal strength that we need to resolve. So with this in mind, if we have this, we can start. So for our project in here, so for this, we already have the location where we need the conflict. So what I was thinking about, like, why would we be inside there? And I started revisit different Greek myths that I really liked. You know, the Minotaur, the different different old classics that probably everybody at least read once. I don't know, guys, if you played Odyssey actually, but we can encounter that there are certain places. I don't know if you remember the Sphinx that we can go and has the riddles for us to solve, or the Cyclops that we can battle at the beginning. So for me, those moments made the whole game worth it. For me, it was like playing my childhood dream about all the things that I read about Greek mythology when I was a kid. Like, baby Ramon was really happy about that. 1 second. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat, but if you are, I want to say hi. You're more than welcome. I'm actually just gonna test that everything still working. Here it is. Okay. We're doing good. We're doing amazing. So, after my mate, we can continue. So there's a myth, you know, about Medusa, the girl with the snakes in her hair that can turn people into stone. And yeah, Odysseus is the one that kills her using a shield to mimic to reflect her silhouette, so he could kill her. So I think it would be fun to play a little bit around it, because actually that's called a gorgon. So Medusa was one of the 3 gorgons that we know of about in Greek mythology. So the gorgons actually weren't bad per se, just Medusa. But I was thinking about, let's imagine we are in Medusa's island, or maybe the Gorgon's island, because we don't know where the other two Gorgons live. They're sisters. So our character has to go and battle that Medusa, that Gorgon. So this is the playroom, or the room before we enter to fight the big boss. That would be the actual Medusa. So when it comes to storytelling, I'm like, okay, who would be our character? Our protagonist needs to fight this Gorgon to keep going, to progress in the story. That would be somehow the conflict. Just wait a second. That would be the first part. So I was thinking about, okay, we need the story to move forward. We're in this stage. We can play around with the storytelling of the level. We can play around with the frescoes in the walls, with the paintings to indicate some kind of sign or warning. So these places, there is a black image on the street. I can see anything. If it's not my problem, maybe you need to restart. Oh, okay. So you can hear me, but you cannot see me. Is that correct? Just wait a second, guys. Aha. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, Daniel. Yeah. Now that I just like refresh the stream, it's not working. It's weird because it says offline, but at the same time it's online because you can hear me. So just give me 1 second. Yeah, not working. That's what happened when you try to multi-stream. Let's see if in this other stuff it works. Yeah, on the red platform is working. But Twitch is the problem. Yeah, here's working. One second, I'm trying to work on it. So I think it could be the server Twitch URL. So this one's not working. Let's try with this other one. We're doing so good, man. Okay, let's give it a moment. Ah, so the bitrate's too high. Okay. I think I know the trouble. So it's telling me my stream bitrate's too high, so we can lower it down. Sorry, guys, and I'm really sorry, Daniel. I did some tests before and it was working just fine, but now I don't know why it's doing this. So I'm gonna try lowering the quality of the stream a little bit. So you guys tell me if that makes it pop up. Why? Okay, wait. We'll make it work. Should appear now, but audio video configuration issues detected. Address the following to optimize your stream viewing experience. The average bitrate of the stream is too high. This can cause buffering for low bandwidth viewers. Source could also be removed if bitrate is too high. But I mean, I'm using the one that I already was using before. Yeah, I mean, it's a 9K buffer. It's the normal. This is bad. I mean, I would tell you to go. No, I'm not gonna tell you to go. Because I'm gonna solve this. And if not, I'll owe you something. Let me check. This actually, oh, on YT is working. I'm just trying to see what's the best protocol. Okay. Okay. I'm just reading through the guidelines right now. Again. Okay, it's asking for 6,000. We can lower it to 6,000. Okay. We're in 6,000 now. And we are connected to Twitch from my stream, from OBS. Okay, I think we have image now. I don't know if Daniel is around, can confirm this, but now I'm seeing myself at least. Okay, that was a magic number. Okay, Daniel, just if you ever come back, please come back. I need you. Let me know if it works. Okay, I'm just gonna have a mate and we'll keep going. I'm really sorry. But hey, there are first times for everything, right? Also, you tell me, guys, if you like to have music in the background. For me, it's fine. It's like I didn't pay that much of attention to it, but it's for you, it's somehow annoying because I know, at least I know I do, that when I play games or I work and I like to have someone speak in the background. I like for him to have no music so I can put mine. But hey, if you guys don't mind. Also, of course, this is not the best music that anyone can have, but hey, it's the one that we can play on the stream, so I understand if you guys prefer your own music. Actually, I don't know if you guys like, but or if you are in Canada, but there's a really good DJ playing. I really like techno music. Me and my girlfriend, we try to go usually to watch some artists, and there's Bond. It's from London. It's really good. It's new. I mean, he's not really big. It's kind of like Fred again. It's a really nice DJ. If you like more stronger beats, he's really nice. And his shows are really interesting because he, instead of doing big shows, he prefers to do it in small clubs and put the booth in the middle of the people of the crowd. So it's really nice because everybody gets on top of him. He stands up and plays. It's really a proper show. So if you guys like that, I recommend it. We went last Friday, and it was amazing. Really hot though. Really hot. I don't know why in clubs they're always so hot in there, even in winter. Okay. So, Daniel, if you're around, thanks for letting me know that it didn't work. I hope it's working fine now. For now, it's live on Twitch, and I think it looks decent. So you let me know. So yeah, we're talking about how can we turn this into something a little bit more suitable and personal and with the story. So we talk about Gorgons from Greek mythology. So my idea was to have maybe all the engravings and the frescoes in the walls to be portraying the story of the Gorgons. I thought about having this temple-ish like place or courtyard to be made by humans for this Gorgon as a kind of offering for her not to kill them. So we can paint or we can convey somehow the idea of danger. So and at the same time of worship. So we can put some type of frescoes, and the Greek used to do this a lot back then. So they will paint these frescoes in the walls and put the molding theme moldings with different engravings and stuff. The same for the vases. I was planning about to test some quick iterations around modeling, like modular or parametric modeling. So procedural modeling. So we can make some vases maybe in Houdini. We can use PDG or the Houdini extension for Unreal Engine to export some vases and have the ability to tweak them in real time, very low poly, but at the same time very customizable. So we can create some trims with paintings on the basis, and we can use that. Also, I was thinking about doing the same for candles or for maybe candlesticks and some props, so we can control and we can, for example, do a flip book in Houdini, because I really like Houdini. I'm sorry guys, but I think it's the best software and it has the best team behind it. So if you are not sure about spending a dime about any software, I would recommend for you guys to learn Houdini and Unreal Engine. And if you don't know the two of them, it's gonna be like, it's that much powerful. And right now, search anywhere online and you'll see like all the companies are searching for Unreal artists working on Houdini artists working on Unreal Engine. It's really, really powerful. So let me know if you like those stuff, more tricky and advanced stuff, but that would be the scope and a little bit further down the line, but that's the idea of this project. And then I was thinking about making it in a way in which we can have certain milestones that we can work together. For example, now it's Blocktober, so a lot of people a lot of everybody's posting their Blocktober version of some level, companies, people, so we can maybe jump on that trend, and after we finish the blockout with all the modularity pieces, because of course this environment is going to be modular, because I mean you can see it by the image, has a lot of repetitive things like the walls, the fountains, the pillars, the columns, ceiling, all that we can do it modular, but at the same time we can use stream sheets. But for example, for the columns, I was thinking about, of course, doing a high to low poly mesh, but we can export some maps like cavity maps, dirt, dust, stuff like that from Substance Painter, and we can explore the chance of having that as a customizable thing inside the shader in Unreal Engine. At the same time, the same for the paintings and the color of the different elements of the baked, I mean high to low poly meshes assets. That would be really interesting. So yeah, well, I'm like touching a little bit of everything here. I was planning about doing this more of a straightforward process of just talking about the freaking references for this, but yeah, I get really excited. So as well, you know how in Greek mythology the Gorgons and Medusa could turn any person or animal into stone, right? So we can maybe leverage that and crowd or populate the scene with a lot of statues. That could be also like a playthrough event. So we can explore the possibility for that to, I don't know, crumble or have some type of animation if the player gets too close or touches it or stuff like that. That of course, this is not going to be a playthrough or a playable. I mean, it's meant to be that way, but we are not going to finish this as a product that is going to be playable. We're just going to film it and stage it in a Unreal Engine and export it. So as I was saying about the Blocktober thing, my idea is to have these kind of milestones in which we can start posting as soon as possible. So we can build a portfolio around this. So I'm also going to explore with you how to, after we do the blocking, create a good post for that station in good quality and to upload it, to make it interesting. What type of breakdowns we have to include, what works, what won't work. So my idea is for me to explore this, to try, and for you to try with me. So you can use me as a click me button to see if these type of things work, because you're gonna know, because I'm gonna publish it on my social media. I'm gonna talk about it, so you'll see if this works or not. So in a couple of weeks we can sit down again all together and we can evaluate the process of this, and you can take your own answers and think yourself about what you thought about this. So my idea now, I'm gonna go a little bit more quieter. It's to start searching for references. So I'm gonna use Pinterest, I'm gonna use Google, of course. And when we search for references, it's good to think about going from general to specific. So maybe the first ones would be more in the zone of actually finding the mood, the tone that we want to set. So maybe they're not exactly Greek, Ancient Greek stuff, but we'll see what we get, what we can find, and we can dump them all together in here. Actually, I'm just gonna save this as a inside. I'm just gonna create here a folder, but you can create it on your documents folder. It doesn't matter where, because we're gonna tackle also how to set a proper folder structure next stream. But we can save it here. We can create a folder that's called concept, or actually reference is the best, the proper term. And inside reference, we can name this. We have to put it a name to the project. So I don't know if we could use Ancient Greek. Sounds kind of general and long. How about, I don't know, Gorgon? But Gorgon doesn't sound really good. Like Gorgon project? Medusa project? Medusa? Medusa could work. I mean, I didn't want to like exactly talk about Medusa because I thought it was going to be too used, but we can start about like Medusa project. Medusa Courtyard. So perfect. Now, what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna jump over to Google or Pinterest, and we're gonna start dropping some references in here around this. And then I don't know if we are going to do that today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow it will be better. We're gonna see, after we have like a basic structure of references, we're gonna jump over to Maya. I use Maya. I'm sorry if you use Blender. I use Blender too. I developed plugins for Blender before. I'm super fan of Blender, but when it comes to working quickly, iterate, and at least for me, have the possibility of exporting everything, importing into a real engine, and the cross compatibility between Maya and all the softwares, at least for me, it's better. It's a software I'm most used to. It's a software that I use in the industry. I think it's not going to go anywhere in the near future, not because Blender is bad. I mean, Blender is so much better in Maya than any Autodesk product, at least for me. It's miles away, more advanced. But the thing is, it's free. So when you have a free and open software, companies usually have two issues with that. The first one is, imagine a big company like MPC, TNEC, the big ones. MPC is the one that I'm working for. They have their workflow and a lot of already made solutions for their pipeline that already include Maya. That changing that into Blender will be such a pain in the ass that I don't think they're worth. They're interesting in changing it now, even though they know the advantages of doing that, but they're not willing to put the risk, the money, and the time into trying something new when they already know that what they have works. At least for now, it works. So yeah, that's the first one. And the second one is, since it's free, and it's developed by the community. Of course, we have the Blender Foundation, but it's mostly developed by people that put a lot of free time. And since it's not the company that owns the software and not a proprietary software, big companies cannot blame the software if anything goes wrong or south. And companies love to blame the software when it crashes, when they have trouble, and they love to be in contact with Autodesk and the support to go back and forward and to have a really, really strong software support for them to blame and to lean over when things doesn't work the way they want to. That I don't think with Blender they can have. I might be wrong. I know there are a lot of companies that are already using it. If I were to start a company now, I would probably use Blender. But yeah, this is me. I mean, who knows? Try to tell that to a VA exec that work on one of these companies, and they don't know much about software limitations and improvements, and they think AI can replace us in 1 year. So yeah, I'm gonna use Maya. at least for now. We're gonna do a blocking. We're gonna try to think about the modularity we're gonna be using. We're gonna create quite complex blocking. I mean, I think you can go as complex as you want with the blocking, because at the end of the day, it's gonna convey the story that you wanna pursue, and then that model that you made on the blocking is gonna serve their purpose when you actually model the piece. So you can never block too much. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, and we're gonna use that block because I suck at concepting, actually drawing. We're gonna actually suck at perspective. So we're gonna grab a screen cap of that one with the hint of a lighting, and we're gonna bring that into Photoshop and paint over it to see if we can get the colors and the final look of the thing we want. For example, in here, I know I want to have some type of bigger piece that indicates a door or the entrance of the house that will come after. That we don't have to model it, but we can have a big door here, open or closed, like the entrance of the place with all the engravings and whatnot. So yeah, one second. Why do I have this? These places, there is a black image on the street. I can see anything. If it's not my problem, maybe you need to restart. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna heat up some water to make more mate. And I'll be right back, and we can finish talking about this and maybe search for some concept one or two. I'm sorry for the WhatsApp thing that you saw on the screen. That was my girlfriend. And yeah, I'll be right back. Just hang on in there. Okay, I'm back. So let's see if someone joined in. Okay. So let me see if I can find a way to have both these and our Google Images on the at the same time on the screen. So, I mean, I can actually change this into this preset. I think it's gonna work better. And we can put this here. Sorry, this is my stats. I'm just gonna put him over here. Yeah, this is trimming. This is working. Just checking in on different streams because now I'm afraid it doesn't work. But yeah, it does. Yay. So let's grab the main concept here. Let's frame all this, put it around here. And let's start to work with our Google Images. So we know we can search for Ancient Greek Courtyard, maybe. So the actual name that we were talking about before, it's called Peristyle. So that's the actual name. So let's see what we can find. Actually, you know what? This is actually bothering me a little bit. So we can maybe make it a little bit smaller. Like this. Yeah. But this is the good thing about PureRef. So we can dock it basically anywhere you want. If you ever want it to not work as always on top, you can actually change it on the settings. I think you can press Ctrl M as well to make it smaller, to minimize it, or you can also click here to disable or enable the always on top. So yeah. To download it, it's free. You can go to PureRef. I think it's pureref.com. Yeah, exactly. And you can download it here. It has a lot of functionalities, but the main thing is it's a good place to store all your images. And it's good because you can directly copy and paste. You don't have to download anything or on any folder. Just keep this on your drive, and that's it. So I think I saw some picture before. Actually, this is, for example, from Odyssey. Yeah, it's from Odyssey. So I think it could be really nice to have just to watch. So see, just a copy and paste will help us search for different references. So I like this. I like the fountains. We can actually think about that in a fountain. Let's see the images that we can get. This is pointing. Okay, this is not the best place to have this. Let's put it here. Yeah, here's better. Let's see, we can find. So we can search for, instead of Ancient Greek, Peristyle directly. See what we can get. So some things that I know that I want to have is I want the columns to be ionic. So you know how the Greeks used to have different orders. So we have the it's here. So here we have the Doric, the Ionic, in Spanish we say Jónico, I think. And then Corinthian, it's the more complex ones, is the one that also the Romans used a lot. So this one looks really good, but I don't think we can imitate this just with trim sheets. I think if we make this, we'll have to sculpt it. So I don't know, I'm doubtful. I don't know if I should stick to the Ionic ones. For sure, the Doric ones are too simple. I think we can play a little bit more around the columns. Also, these ones are more thin, more like elegant, and I think it will go or match best with our subject, that is Medusa. You know, a very refined lady that it's kind of like a goddess if you think about it. I like this. I really like this. This actually from the Parthenon, so we're gonna bring it. After that, we can resize them all together to be the same size. No worry about it. But it's good, right? Because we were talking about having some kind of ceiling sticking out of one of the sides. So I think this could work really well. So yeah, going back, pure ref, we don't need it anymore. So coming back here, we need to start to search for some courtyard, peristyle, courtyard. See, these columns, for my taste at least, are too simple. I like this. I like this this style of having this you know, the not fluted part. I also like this. I don't like the fact that they are raised, but I like the flooring. We also have to search for some flooring ideas. So and the usage of wood at the same time. So I really like this one. This is a nice one. It's a pincher, so we're gonna open it. But you know, when it comes to mixing real life with you know, like actual historic reference with 3D and environments, I like to stick really consistent to accuracy, like historical accuracy. But I know we have to make some sacrifices in order to make our environment more readable or more attractive. But yeah, the idea is, you know, because it's really easy to mismatch or to confuse Greek with Roman. So that happens a lot, what I've seen in the environment. So you'll have, you know, a mixture of styles, a mixture of architecture styles and whatnot, and that could really hurt our portfolio, our interpretation, because the idea of this is to show that we can do research, that we care about accuracy. So if we ever get the task of searching or to do anything about this, of course we're gonna have a lead, and we're gonna have an art supervisor that is gonna look through all that. But it's good to prove that we care and that we have that eye to the detail. So yeah, so I really like this one. I'm actually going to copy it. I don't like that it's too big, in my opinion, right? It's like really big for a level, like for a space that is not actually going to be, or not intended to be playable. I think it could be an overkill, mostly because we have to fill all this space with props and, you know, life to make it believable. So I don't know, but at the same time I like the fact that we have a fountain in the middle and that we have this path with nature and with foliage. So I don't know, I'm just gonna keep that one when I open this. What else? let's see. See, for example, this is too perfect for me. I don't know if the Greeks had this, but I don't. Yeah, it's a little bit too Frenchy for my taste. But I like these ceilings. All right, with this pattern, it's a nice pattern. Oh, the painted walls. Oh, I like this. To have this difference in the flooring. Oh, I have to log in. So annoying. 1 second. Okay. I don't know. I have to pick stuff. Wait, can just... Okay. I think we got it now. Let me just open this. Where's the image we were talking about? This one, right? This one. So we like this one. So let's paste it here. I also like this idea of having a marble edge that could also be like stairs. But yeah, I'm just gonna copy it, but we'll keep searching. So when it comes to reference, I like to, lose myself a little bit around it and just trying to find something that clicks in my mind, more about, the mood or whatnot. I really like this, actually, about mooding, like the colors, even though I know this red is more Roman, but we painted blue. The blue was really used by the Greeks. You know why blue was really used by the Greeks? Because it was one of the most expensive colors to make. Because blue, it's a color that is really hard to find in nature. So usually around cultures, blue is related to wealth and power. That's why blue, it's a color of the kings and the royalness. I don't know how to say it in English. Royalty. It's a house in Pompeii. Oh, I like this one at night. I know they're low quality. I know they're not the best, but we just needed to like push us in the right direction after. I really like these motifs. Let's try to search for Ancient Greek wall frescoes. I like this one. Oh, look, we have the meander there. It's really nice. So the meander, it's actually, you know, those patterns that meander, yeah. Those patterns, these type of patterns that the Greek used a lot. So it's really good to make a trim sheet out of it and to include it. Actually, this is really nice. Though we have to be careful because oh, it's a big image. There are some meanders that actually looks like a really famous German person. So we don't wanna for sure add that to our environment. Even though it would be historically accurate, we don't want to use it. See, like in here, this is getting a little bit too dangerous. I know it's somewhere around here. I saw it when I was in Greece. But these meanders are really nice. We have a lot. So we can try to search on the floor. Oh, there he was. I like this. But yeah, let's go back to the actual environment. I like this. I like how the lights hits. It has a floor, an interesting floor. I like the furniture as well. We should also look for furniture. The benches, of course, they are not from that time, but I like these entrances, like these portals, and the height. I think it's a good height reference. I think it's a little bit too high. That's also something that we have to keep an eye on, because it's really hard to get historically accurate pictures, because the Greeks are so famous that a lot of people throughout history craft their art and modify it. Italians, you know, they were the first ones to revive the old classic period of the Greeks in sculpture and architecture. So let's see if we can go back. Well, they actually had pretty damn high, like, structures. I like this one. But why is it so low quality? Well, we can copy it. You guys let me know if the mate becomes too noisy. I like the fact that they have water and fabric. Oh, we can make fabric in we could make fabric in Marvelous. That's also a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna write that one down, because I know myself and I'm going to forget. So And I grabbed the only pen that didn't work. So we set the fabric in Marvelous Designer. And then we can actually sim it, like simulate it and hang it to give it more dynamism. And if we change the lighting, for example, we could also, like, depending on the weather, we can make it like, we can create a wind system. It's not that tricky. Okay. I don't know about that one. Never done it before. But it could be fun. Okay. So I'm just gonna copy this for the sake of remember the cloth reference. There's a bunch of designs here that could work. That's too much, too new. This actually, yeah, from Odyssey. You know what? We could actually copy this, because I mean, why reinvent the wheel, right? So we can see, I mean, the level of detail of this is not going to be the same as we are going to make, because they build a whole freaking game. We just want to build a scene, but it's good to peek a little bit after about how they made modularity. That is a subject we're gonna also touch maybe Monday or Tuesday. What else? I like these, you know, this is the Parthenon. Actually, this is not the Parthenon. Is it? Or is it the... Because they created a replica of the Parthenon, but to be a minister, this is the actual Parthenon. Okay, this is the minister. This is an actual picture that they have in in Athens. I don't know why you cannot copy it. There we go. Yeah, they have even the net for the pigeons. Oh, I like this one. Look at this. Here we have a little bit of everything. So we have trim sheets that we can sculpt. We have trim sheet. We have some trim sheet here, textures, marble. A lot of vibrant colors. This could be really fun to make. Actually gonna make it a little bit bigger. I like the colors. See, because this is Corinthian. And I like it. But we will have to sculpt it. I mean, we could also sculpt it. Actually, I don't know. They both look really good. What do you guys think? Have any preference? You know what? I'm just gonna keep 2 images and we can make the decision later, because this is only a capital. And if you think here, like these parts, they're actually quite similar. So we can actually use both of them. But I like this background part. Oh, I like this. It's really nice. so we can hang stuff. Okay, it's a video. It's a little bit, see, this for me, it's a little bit too complex. Like this as well. Like I like this Corinthian, but it's simple. Like this is readable. Imagine that we are gonna see this from the distance. We're gonna see this from, maybe these columns are 6 meters, 4 meters. So having this type of detail, I don't know, I think it kind of messes with the perspective. When these from the distance, it's much more readable. But I also like this part of here. So I'm gonna copy. We don't have to make choices now. We're just exploring. This is really good as well. This could be easily a trim. It's called a trim. For the ceilings, maybe. I like this one. I like this one, but I think we can find better reference. Because what I would like to do is actually, let's imagine, let's go back to here. So what I would like to do is to have like one of these things, like triangulated things, kind of inserted here. So it serves the purpose of a portal to go through. Calls for attention when it comes to level design. And it also would look really damn good with all the frescoes and maybe some sculpted details like this. We have to see, because sculpting these, I mean, it will take time. Because, I mean, the Greeks were really realistic when it comes to sculpture. I mean, they were the people that invented realism in sculpture, so we have to see how much we actually achieve that, or how much time we want to invest in just doing that part. I like this ceiling as well. Well, actually, I don't know, because it's too complex to be. Imagine that we have to repeat this throughout the ceiling. So if we search, I think I prefer something more like this, simpler, with more air. Because at the end of the day, it's just the ceiling. Like, it's not the focus. What else? What else? What else? What else? Sorry, I moved this into the other screen. Just put it back here. Now, what I would actually... Hey, MVRK, how's it going? How's your day going so far? So we were just starting a new project. Actually, we're going to make an ancient Greek interior courtyard, something like this. I don't know if you like it, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you for joining in. We're just trying to iterate around some references for us to have before jumping into the blocking. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, super welcome. Thank you, man. Yeah, actually, I mean, I didn't design this, to be completely honest. I just typed some prompts into AI. But actually, I think that's the best way to start, right? To use AI, right? To help us as a tool, not to actually be the final product that we're going to make. But yeah, we were talking a little bit about modularity and all the possibilities that this type of environment can help us achieve. It was Midjourney. Yeah. Midjourney. It looks really well for this type of things. But I mean, before we were talking about, if you think here, this is like brought from some medieval classical church thingy, you know, when they used to put the golden rings behind people's heads. So of course this is not accurate. And also these type of statues, and we were talking about the possibility of being as much as faithful as we can about the Greek period, because I don't know if you know the Medusa, you know, the Gorgon myth about the girl with the serpent hair and all that. So when we wanted to make an environment that was kind of her sleigh, her maybe in her island, you know, that the villagers made this temple for her. So incorporated a lot of elements. So yeah, and we wanted to be really precise as much as we can with the Greeks, because it's really easy to mistake the details between that and the Romans, for example. And my idea with this project is to actually publish it as a portfolio piece for doing the switch into the video games industry. I come from a more traditional VFX 3D animation background, so and I always think that having the ability to, you know, take those type of actions and calls and think about those details are really good. They add a lot to your project, to the storytelling of the project. So yeah, that's why we wanna find good reference for the project. So yeah, I don't know if you ever made anything in Real Engine. Maybe you can share it if you want. I mean, we're just wrapping up this, but it's also my first stream, so you let me know how I'm doing. So yeah, my idea was to actually suffer or went through this process with you, also to force myself into doing it. And yeah, I've never tackled a project this big before. Also small, more isolated things, but I think it's a good excuse to put into practice a lot of things and to see how many of my knowledge from my work translates into video games. So it's gonna be fun for sure. And if you guys can take one thing or two, for me, that would be amazing, man. So yeah, we're actually thinking about different type of referencing. Oh, nice. So you just got the program, and do you downloaded the latest version, the 5.5 of Unreal? Is it your first time? Nice. Yeah, it's in my opinion, it's going to be a before and after, huh? Because it has all the lighting new functions. I come from a lighting background, actually, lighting for cinema. So yeah, now pretty much you can do whatever you want with Unreal, and it looks just as good as a movie render in any other traditional ray tracer, you know? So it's really nice. Really good choice. So I don't know if you ever model anything, or if you just like, you know, okay, I want to make games. Nice. Yeah, well, that's gonna come in handy, yeah? Because when we get into the needs and grids inside the program, it really is really helpful to know the, you know, the logic behind programming, or like how information flows. So it's really nice to have. I don't know if you ever modeled anything before, or if you need any recommendations about modeling or Real Engine in general. If you want to just grab stuff and start to make anything, just let me know. We can maybe put up a document with the suggestions. But yeah, man, happy to have you. So let's see. I'm actually gonna take a short pause to drink some mate. And to check how it looks, actually, because the stream a little bit before it kind of went down on Twitch. So just want to make sure it looks okay. I think it looks good so far, so good. Okay, let's keep going. So let's see what else we can think about, because I would really like see something like this to have, like even though this is very repetitive, to have some kind of focal point for this narrative in which we can add a lot of different patterns and maybe some sculpted things. I think it could look really nice. Where I'm from Argentina, actually, but I'm living in Canada right now since a couple of years. I went to study abroad, and then when I got into industry, it led me here to Canada. So yeah, been living here since 2022, I think. Yeah, at the end of 2022, and working as well, fortunately. What about you? Where do you live? What are you doing right now? Are you working, or are you trying to get into an industry? So let's try to think if we can find some floors as well. Because Greeks used to do a lot of interesting shit with floors. I mean, if I could just be like half of a person, like 0.001 as Messi, that for me, it would be the peak of my career in general. But yeah, he actually came to play, because I live in Montreal. He came to play against the Montreal team a couple of months ago. And I tried to go and see him, because the only time I saw him play was a lot of years ago, back in Argentina. And the normal tickets to go and watch the Montreal team, football team, you know, soccer team, you would say. We say football. It was like, I don't know, $40 to go and see it. And when Messi came to play against him, it was like 400 or something like that. And I was like, damn. So yeah, I couldn't go watch him, but I will. I will go to Miami someday and see him play. So flooring. Let's try to search for, because I really like mosaics, so we can try mosaics, like ancient Greek mosaics. Oh, there we go. I really like this. We have to be careful though, because they have a really interesting symbology in that it was later used by a very famous German dude that we don't like. So we for sure cannot, we cannot put that one into our project. Into game dev, actually, I've been using Unreal Engine since 2021, but I only use it once, not per se for game dev, but for it was actually for an advertising for a car commercial. So we did an set extension in Unreal Engine. I'm sorry, it wasn't a commercial, it was actually a video clip that I don't know if I can show you, but it was really nice. I'm gonna ask if I can show those type of stuff here on Twitch or while streaming. And then yeah, I've been in and off into game dev for the past couple of years, mostly doing props. And since the latest version of Unreal came out, like Unreal 5, I started actually digging more into it, mostly because now in the industry it's been incorporated more and more and more. And nowadays, for example, in lighting artists, you will see that there each year there are more real-time opportunities for lighting artists because of the improvement of the engines. So actually now what I was telling you about the latest 5.5 version, that you have the mass lights that you don't need to bake. Well, I mean, you know how they are. They announce that it's the game-changing thing, and then we will actually have to test it and see how it behaves in real time, and if it is actually like that, as they say. But having the ability to have real-time shadows, reflections, and see how that behaves with ray tracing and nanites, wow, yeah, it could be a game changer. It could be a really game changer. So yeah, our idea with this environment is not to make a final playable thing, like to run on real time 60 FPS like that, even though it would be awesome if we can achieve that. I think this piece is more aimed towards portfolio presentation for like showcasing different abilities, even though, you know, optimization is one of those abilities. So if we can get there, cool. But if not, I mean, we can always use the ray tracer and render the scene and then comp it and use that, right? Because yeah, along the way we're gonna be polishing, you know, the textures we make, the trim sheets we make, the materials we make in Substance Designer, all the Houdini stuff, PTG, and all the, because we were talking just a little before you arrived about you know PTG or PTK. I almost mixed those names. It's an extension from Houdini into Unreal Engine, so you can actually create some interesting things about procedural modeling. So for example, in this scene we can make maybe some bases and some other type of props like the statues and whatnot, and we can pre-process them in Houdini and bring it into Real quite quickly. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Sorry man, I start talking and forget that I'm even searching for reference. How about you? How long have you been interested in trying Unreal Engine? Oh, I like this. I like this type of stuff. Maybe we can play a little bit about you know, the, let me see if we can find, for example, I'm actually going to open a new one, but like Gorgon or Medusa mosaic Greek myth. Okay, I like this. Even though the Greeks wouldn't make this, you know, such complex things, this would be more into Roman territory, I think. But I like this. This is Greek for sure. It's Perseus actually slaying, because this is the actual representation, not that one with the swastika, but the gargoyle is a little bit like this. They used to represent it like this. Let's paste it around here. I like this. I mean, I like the fact that it's in bronze. So we can maybe play a little bit with that and the doors. For example, here. Or maybe a fountain with this and the water pouring out of the mouth. That could be interesting. No, but let's go back to the mosaics. This is really nice. I've actually been playing before with this type of materials. So I have some substance designer things already made with this. Have you ever used substance before? It's for making textures, and well, you have it for textures and you have it for materials as well. I like this also, but we already have it here, so. Oh, I like this one. This could be a really good fresco. No, you don't know. You want to see, like, for example, let me just show this to you. Actually, we can open this. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit complex, but so for example, this I made it with the substance designer. It's like all parametrical. Made it some while ago to test and to learn also. But I think it looks like we can use this as a base, you know, the theory behind it to make something more believable. Let me just change this into a cylinder, because we can export this as a trim sheet and then use it directly inside the engine. And I know here it looks a little bit messy, but don't worry, it's actually just, you know, some where is it? Here. No, not here. It's actually some how long it actually took. This one took a bit, man, because I got some references out of internet and I was following along some dude that tried to do it in a different way, but I think it took like a week, maybe, like in and out. Let's say 5 hours. 5 hours, yeah, 5-10 hours, yeah, no more than 6 hours. Because what you actually do is you just play with something like this. For example, you just trace the image in here like an SVG, like you would do in Illustrator. You can actually come here and you can create different pieces, right? So then what you do is you actually tile them with this. This is a tile sampler, so it actually tiles it, so it goes all the way around, and that's why you can pretty much expand it as you want. And then you combine it with different stuff. Then you create normal maps. You create all the different maps out of this and masks. It's like a real 3D Photoshop. And then yeah, the outcome of this is you have textures. You have a set of textures that you can then use. Actually, I think I can show it to you. Then you can put into engine and you can trim it, so you can UV your mesh to follow certain parts of this, and there you go. Just like with a simple mesh and a complex texture, you can actually make a lot of the things that we see on video games. It's called trim sheets. We're gonna see this actually next week for sure. When we start thinking about, here in the project, all of this is like trim sheetable. Sounds weird, but I promise it's pronounced that way. So yeah, it's trim sheetable. So for example, all these patterns behind here and the frescoes and whatnot, we can use trim sheets for that. We can use trim sheets for all these designs, also for the floors, the marble. Also in here, we were talking about these before. So this type of details, like we can sculpt it on ZBrush, for example, or Blender, whatever program you want. I use ZBrush, but you can use Blender as well. It's like same principle. Because my idea with this is not to force you into, okay, you have to buy this software, paid software, but pretty much today you can do everything that I'm doing. You can follow along with Blender or another free software. And you can actually sculpt this one time and then stick it on top of all the meshes that you want. So here in the background, here on the columns, paintings and whatnot, all that can be and should be trim sheets. So yeah, also this, because since this is curved, what we can do is when we create our UVs, I don't know if you know what UVs are. It's like basically the wrapping of our object. So when we unwrap it, we can tell it on a 2D space where to look at to place the texture. So we can actually say, okay, we can actually make a curved 3D part into a long 2D part, and we can stick it there and it will follow along properly and beautifully. So yeah, that's pretty much used nowadays. That's one of the workflows. And let me see if I can show this to you really quick. In here. It's opening. Oh yeah, I have it. For example, this is another texture that I made using the same principle. It was just a test. It's nothing too fancy, but actually, this is Marvel. This is forgot the name. Marmoset Toolbag. It's a good software to present the work, mostly like real time. It renders in real time almost. We can also create the same scene in directly in engine, but it's nice to have because in here you can iterate pretty quickly. So for example here, let me just change this. Instead of floor mosaic, I think I have one with a trim. No, not that one. With a trim, where is it? Mosaic trim here. So basically the output of that, we cannot preview it here. It would be the actual maps that we use inside the engine. So for example, here we have a displacement, so we can pretty much change this. We can change the normal, change the albedo. You can change the roughness. We have metalness and amid occlusion. And we pretty much have the texture here. So if we, let me see if I can put it like this. See? So it's pretty much the texture that we can tile it. So now we can set like 5. Of course, you see the tileable like that, right? But we can play with the scale, so it's not fixed to any particular object. It's not baked, so we can reuse it or repurpose it along our scene. So it's pretty damn powerful. So yeah, that's one of the things we're gonna try to look into it next week. So let me know what you think. And if you would like to learn these type of things, just before we were talking about the importance of knowing how to do these type of things ourselves and not rely 100% on pre-made stuff like textures, mega scans, for example. Let's take mega scans. We were talking about that before. So I don't know if you heard, but mega scans now is being changed to something else. I think it's a new platform that Epic is making, and the thing is, we don't know if that's gonna be, but it's gonna be kept for free as it was before, or it's gonna change into something else. So if it changes, that means like 10,000 assets that we used before, we will no longer have the possibility to use. So that's when having the ability to make our own shit comes really, really into practice, right? So that's why also I'm myself, and some commentaries that I heard, I'm kind of sick of or tired of seeing the same environments made with the same pieces. So it's like, if you use always the same Lego pieces, you can make different stuff for sure, and really beautiful stuff, but it comes to certain moment in which it's kind of repetitive. So I think we can achieve something with the same quality and also at the same time learn how to do it and put it into practice, and then we can decide. If at the end we don't like it, we can always come back and search for those assets. But at least now we have the knowledge on how to do it, and we can show it. I mean, the importance of this is actually showing it, so we can get hired. I mean, that's the idea of this, at least so far. Maybe it'll change in the future, but yeah, for now, that's the idea. So let me know what you think. So for example, it would be nice to have a way of process this type of images and convert them into mosaics, for example. But I think it could be a little bit complex. So maybe we can just like turn it into a texture and use it on the walls, as we saw here. Here, for example. See, this type of paintings, they were super used to decor interior patios and courtyards. So it could be handy. I like this one. Where are we pasting the frescoes? Okay, we can paste it here. And I don't know if you ever use this software, but this is called PureRef. It's a free software that you can download right now if you want. And it's really good because it's basically only one solution for references. And it's good because it's free, it's lightweight, and you can put it on top. So with this button, you can actually say if you want it to be kept on top. So while you sculpt or you use whatever, and if you have only one monitor, it's good to have. So yeah, you can go and download it. So serpents, they should be definitely something that we should include. But I mean, actually, on the actual myth of the Gorgons, the only one associated with the serpents was Medusa. There were 3 Gorgons. So we could try to aim for the Medusa theme, or we can pivot away of that. Because my idea is to make the environment kind of like human-made, as a worship place. Also to like saying, because Gorgons are immortal, so I mean, you can kill them, but they won't die out of age. So and they are pretty damn powerful, so people could, you know, out of fear, put some tributes and vases and food and stuff like that. The Greeks love to do that. So actually we can search for vases. This is Sphinx. I like this. They used to put, if you see here, this is a capital of a Ionic column, so we can actually steal this and use it to put it somewhere on our roof to make it pop out a little bit more. Or here. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna search the kind of bases. This is good to have the different type of bases, because we can literally copy this. I'm actually gonna keep this one because it's flat, so we can import it as a background image and work on top of this. This is pretty much easy, because what we can do for this is we can trace it with a line and then use a modifier to convert that line into a 360-degree model, and then we all the handles. Well, for some of these we can, but for example for this it's gonna be more tricky. But I like this one. And the good thing about vases is that we can pretty much, as I show you the trim sheets for the mosaics, we can actually do the same for this type of patterns. And then we would only need to UV each one of these separately, and we can then iterate and change the texture of each one of them. So it would be super quick to make a bunch of them. I also like this. This goes pretty much in sync of the same leaves and flowers that I made before. So we're gonna keep it. That one, no. This is nice. Because they used to place these type of things at the edge of the roofs. And I think it could be a good exercise to sculpt, like to model a base mesh from maybe Maya, and then bring it to to sculpting. I like that. Same for this, but this is a little bit too complex. We're talking about, you know, Greeks have 3 different orders. So they have the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. So we should base our scene in one of those, mostly because of the different type of ornaments and stuff like that, if we want to be accurate, right? Then we can change, after we can change it if we want. But so I like this type of Corinthian because it's good, we can sculpt it. It's, I think it could look really good. But I also like this. I think this could have more trim sheet potential maybe down the line. The thing is, there's also more complex Corinthian capitals, like this one, that I think are too complex for our scene. Because imagine that is going to be like 4 meters high, 6 meters high, and this type of details, I don't know, holes and stuff. I think it's gonna be overkill for our scene. I kept this image mostly because of this, that I liked. That this could be easily a trim sheet also. Sorry. Okay. Let's try to finish a bit, because I don't want to be too intense. So my idea with this project is to work on it every weekday during mornings, starting at, I don't know, maybe 10 a.m. my schedule, right? Until 1 or 2 p.m. I'm sure you guys have another time zone, but yeah, let me know if that works for you. If you would like to make these streams more like this, you know, like more chill, casual, or if you would like for me to make the stuff and then talk about how I made the stuff, or made it together. So yeah, I was thinking about that just before commenting today, but I don't know, we can try both and see what sticks better. So before leaving, I want to see from here, like, okay, we can talk about plants after. We can make them with Atlas and Speed Tree, that I know it's a very specialized software that maybe not everybody could have. So we're gonna see alternatives or resources to get. The good thing is we don't have like many trees, or the trees we have are in the background. So we could choose not to have this, or we can just have like some shrubs and stuff like that, that for now are still free on Megascans. And same for the, I don't like the thing that they have pots, because I don't think they did back then, right? They will directly plant them. So we need to have some type of path here with dirt and a fountain. Yeah, Greeks didn't use fountains, I think. I don't remember. So let's go back to the peristyle thing. Also for the roof, right? So model these. I think it's gonna be overkill because we're not going to step on it. Ban. Sorry, yeah. I'm just banning the spammers. Um, I don't like that. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, thinking about... Oh, I like this. To have like here. Like on the middle, you know, where the vines grow? To give it a little bit of shadow. It could be nice. I don't know if they use it, but it could be nice. This one I really liked. See, this is exactly what I want to make. So imagine this over this part. So it could be a really nice focus point for the entrance. For the actual entrance here in the middle. So we're gonna paste it not that far away. What is this place? House of Meander, Pompeii. You have these holes. I think this is a good image to have a sense of scale. This is true, I mean. But I don't know if this is Roman or Greek. The Romans were a little bit more ballsy. They will make bigger stuff. This is an atrium. We don't want atriums. But I like this. I really like this. I know it's 3D, but the vibe. Yeah, let's keep this one. Okay, I get where it comes from. The music. I think it's time for change. Let's try. Okay. Okay, so I like this 3D representation. Maybe we can use it. Music. I try to stay away of these because I know they are made with the AI. And also, if they're not, maybe I'm mistaken. For example, this type of things, they weren't used by the Greeks, so I'm sure about that. Same with this, it's a little bit misleading. Oh, this is nice. Has a little bit of everything that we talked about, like as the walls with some frescoes. It has the meander here, also in the top, floated columns. Even though that column right there in the middle It's a little bit off, isn't it? And it has some plants and it has these stairs. I don't like the motif on the floor though, but I'm gonna keep that one. As you can see, I still haven't went into our station. That's just because I don't want to. Because whenever I see stuff in our station, at the moment that I'm searching for reference, I can get two feelings. The first one is like, oh, this is really cool. I want to copy this, and that basically blocks your mind around a certain theme or idea, and I don't want to. Then after find difficult to move away from that. There's nothing wrong about getting inspiration in others people's work, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I don't want to copy exactly what they're doing or what they thought. And the second one is that I get pretty jealous. So I'm like, damn, man, look at this. I'm not going to make the same level of detail this person. So I get demotivated. So I try to go into at our station afterwards, like when I already have something. At least a concept. Now at the walls. Or maybe we can go, no, we can do that next time. To search for more mood and tone that it would be nice to have. So we just haven't decided if we want this piece to be, you know, more of classic lit, you know, daytime, afternoon, chill vibe, or if we want it to be like a more dangerous place, night, candlelight and stuff like that. But we want the statues for sure, that we had to think how to make them and how to put them in a way that it will populate the scene, but at the same time it wouldn't interrupt the flow of the player. So that's more level design-ish, because next time we're going to work about environment storytelling, level design and world building. Those three things are the main blocks that makes an environment work. So today we talked a little bit about world building. That is hard to make in just one piece, because it's the addition of the different parts of a game that creates their narrative, right? But we can put some hints about it. At least we can think about them. So whenever we feel in trouble someplace or we don't know how to solve things, we can go back and check on that to grab some ideas, or at least to find our compass towards where to move next. Then we have environment storytelling. That's the minimum stuff that we do, you know, like small vignettes, small dioramas in different parts of the environment that tell different stuff. Like, for example, I don't know, if we go to the benches, do they have any markings? If we go to the statues, what type of statues they are? I don't know, if we have soldiers fighting, you know, with the shield up, if we have kids, animals, different day-to-day stuff that adds to the narrative and to the world. And then the proper level design, that it's and the composition where we aim our focus. In this case, it would be here, and why, and what do we want out of that space to help or not the player. So in this case, I don't know, the statues could break, or we could have a lot of objects that reflect light. That's a way, for example, for the player not to see Medusa in the case that we think about, okay, this is going to be a playable level. So the in order to defeat this boss, kind of like Dark Soulsy thing, we have to fight her without seeing her, or just using reflections. I don't know. So we can play about introducing some of those assets into the level. Same for the water, could be shiny, reflective, and yeah, that's kind of stuff. Okay, I think it's the time to save this and call it off for a first stream. Let's see how we're doing. Well, I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for the ones that joined a little bit and participated on the chat. I'm sorry that the transmission went down at the beginning on Twitch, but hey, that's first timers, right? So Monday we'll keep going. We're gonna try to finish this first pass of references, start the blocking, and start thinking about modularity. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, any ideas, suggestions, let me know down in the comments. You can also send me a message. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. You have all the social networks linked. And yeah, have an amazing Friday and relax, enjoy, and see you on Monday. Bye.